undocumented immigrants criminals?
Are they criminals?
There was a lot of talk about undocumented immigrants being criminals and you know, the crimes that they've committed. Are all undocumented immigrants criminals?
Well, all undocumented people that are in this country that are not documented are violating the law. Now, if you're asking me whether they're all violent, of course not. If you're asking me whether they're all immoral people, of course not. They've made decisions that do violate the law. You know, we need to address this issue and deal with it in a lot of ways. But of course, they're not all violent criminals. In fact, you know, I mean, only a portion of them are. But those that are cause an awful lot of trouble.
I just want to ask, and any of y'all can answer this. Do y'all think maybe the antagonistic relationship between bosses and workers due to our capitalist system, y'all think that might contribute to the lack of our legislatures like jumping on this because business interests are just so powerful in the state to make sure that we have this class of people with no rights that can like when contractors don't pay them like their full payment, you know, you think maybe our system of capitalism might be part of this?
I don't. I'm a big believer in capitalism myself. I think that we can compare a capitalist society to a non-capitalist society, and look at the results; they speak for themselves. But there's a big difference between capitalism, which is a free market system, and crony capitalism, which is using the law to favor certain parties over other parties. And you're absolutely right. We have created with our system that we have right now, that's a group of people who do not have, who are in this country and who are working for people and entering into contracts, but if those contracts aren't upheld, they have not a lot of recourse. So yes, there are employers, and they were mentioned earlier. There's a Houston home builder, there's a grocer, there's a lot of them, and I think we all know who they are, that are fighting against this, and they like the fact that they have workers, that there are workers in the state that don't have the same rights as other workers would have, and that they can pay them when and if and how much they like to. You know, there's a cheap labor lobby in the state that is getting rich off of this, and it's not about capitalism; it's about crony capitalism.
I'd like to add to that. There is a cheap labor lobby, and they like nothing better than employing those that are here illegally, paying them a wage, yet shoving the rest of the costs, societal costs, on taxpayers. Harris County spends $1 billion on free clinics. The city of Houston spends another $1 billion. Let me tell you, there's a lot of money being spent, and we're the ones left holding the bag. And today, when we have unemployment numbers, especially among Hispanics and African Americans in the double-digit range, you start talking about education levels. Some people maybe have not, they have a GED, those numbers go higher and higher and higher. You start talking about ex-convicts, those being released from prison, and you're up in maybe the 50 percentile level. Let me tell you folks, those people should not be considered throwaway humans. They were American citizens. Yes, they committed a crime, they did their time, they came out, they're American citizens, and they should be allowed just as much opportunity as everybody else. And we're focused on people here illegally rather than just, you know, the folks that have been here, American citizens. The unemployment, you all know that it's risen again.
8.5%.
Okay, Houston, it's going up. Everywhere I look in Houston, there are professionals on the corners of the streets in suits asking for jobs with a sign. We're in hard times. We need Texas jobs for Texans first.
What do y'all think about U.S. foreign policy, which causes a lot of problems in Mexico? For example, when NAFTA introduced a lot of subsidized American corn, and a lot of Mexican farmers couldn't grow corn, couldn't compete anymore, and were forced to go into like the cities. I mean, a lot of American foreign policy causes economic problems in Mexico and causes them to come over here. So, I mean, I don't think we're ever going to fix the problem until maybe like these larger issues are fixed.
Well, I think that all those foreign policy questions need to go to presidential candidates. They're on a higher pay grade than we are.
Okay.
I want to refocus today on what we're asking. We're asking Governor Perry to come back to Texas and take care of the people's unfinished business. That's what we're asking them to do. And we were told that we have to be out of this room at noon sharp. We're approaching that time. Thank you so much for coming out, and we'll be glad to talk to you a little bit more out in the hallway if you want. Thank you again.
Inmigrantes son personas también, y la problema is big business in this country.